Tuesday music drop that we were able to cover this week. Treasure, the K-pop band, dropping the next step, chapter one. Was it second step?
No, chapter two.
One? Chapter two. Sorry.
Yes.
um, and we reviewed a couple of these. Sorry, no, it's the second step, chapter one.
Oh, the second step. Yes, yes, yes.
Sorry, I read that wrong the first time.
I'll be honest, I don't love these titles.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the titles either, but a decently. I enjoyed the music. I gotta say, we've covered quite a few of these K-pop releases now, and I feel like some of them can sound a little samey. So to have something that like jumps out and makes this, the band sound unique is always kind of what I'm looking for. I'm wondering, did you hear anything in the second step, chapter one, that you felt like set Treasure apart from the other K-pop groups out there?
Yeah, I definitely heard some stuff. I think it's primarily on the production side of things that helps elevate Treasure. Relatively new K-pop boy group, the newest YG K-pop boy group, first one YG has had since Icon, like 7 years ago. It's been a while. Obviously, YG has been all about Blackpink right now, and there's been little else happening really from them. They announced Big Bang is coming back eventually, but this has kind of been like their other project apart from Blackpink. And if you go, look up their music, even after this, new release again, they still only have like 12, 15 songs total out. Kind of like how Blackpink have been doing it, slow, methodical drips of new music. I mean, before that first album came out, beginning of 2021, they had released 3 2-song EPs or single albums, as they're called. Really slow. And me, I feel like to me, kind of maybe a little confusing to connect with a group when there's such little music out, because Treasure is 12 members deep. Taking a page out of the NCT playbook over at SM. So listening to Treasure, and I've listened to everything leading up to this new drop as well, just trying to like find a way to connect with the music, because there's so many voices and it's really hard to pick up on who you're listening to if you're not trying to like read the lyrics or watch videos and try and piece things together in your head as a non Korean speaker. And I think for me, it was the production that kind of stood out to me and elevated some of these songs across their whole discography to this point. So, kind of like we talked about aespa recently. aespa, I feel like they almost stood out to me because for their avatar narratives and like their whole like metaverse thing they were trying to do through their music. But I think for Treasure, for me, it was the production, particularly like a really distinct electronic production, like this bumping, thumping bass, even on some of like the quieter songs of these 4 new songs. There's still I think a heavy electronic production throughout, which kind of stood out to me and kind of kept the music lively.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you kind of hit the nail on the head for me of what I liked about the second step, chapter one, is oftentimes I think coming to these K-pop artists, I'm looking for the absolute bangers, the songs that are just like energy start to finish.
Right.
And Treasure kind of brings a little bit of both, a little bit more of the softer side, and then brings in that thumping electronic house bass a lot of the time to really drive the energy through the middle of the song, and then we'll drop back down to a little softer and bring it back up. And that happens a few times on here, like a song like You, or right after it, Dari Dari or Dari Ari, or It's Okay. Kind of,
right.
Did I say that wrong? Sorry.
Darari, I think it was. Darari?
Dar Ari. Yeah. Something like
whatever.
that. Dar Ari. And then It's Okay. They're all kind of similar in the structure, but it all really worked for me. And I was surprised that I liked the softer side of it so much, especially because a lot of the time, especially not really not understanding the language at all, I'm just kind of like, these vocals sound good, but is this good? Is this not? But I just found it to be like really enjoyable to listen to. So I was impressed with that.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, the banger of these 4, there's always the K-pop banger on the drop. This one is Jik Jin, which has a music video out today, And that one, kind of has like really like noticeable like horn production, really
Uh-huh.
like heavy drums. But I agree. I feel like the softer stuff that followed probably stuck with me more than the song that's usually kind of intended to be the lead single, the banger, if you will. So yeah, it was kind of interesting, I think, to have that experience with a K-pop release. So like I said, there's not a lot of treasure music out. I didn't like these songs as much as some of the songs I had liked to this point. I think Bling Like This, which was in the second set of songs they released in 2020. I feel like that song is super catchy, like chorus. The breakdown on that outro is like really cool. And that's the song where I would point to for like that really thumping, high tempo electronic production. So I didn't quite get what I like about that song on this new music, but you can still kind of see the through line. So hopefully YG wants to push these guys out a little more, like on social media, it was like the treasure comeback. And it had only been 1 year, but the comeback is still only 4 songs. Like, I just wish they would do more, they
Yeah.
never seem to do.
Dave, I gotta say, there's a moment on this that I thought you were just going to totally love, and it's at the beginning of You. You know, they have this like soft piano driven build up, and then there's a moment when I'm not sure who is the band members, obviously, but they're like, "I want you," and then it like comes in with like the thumping like bass, and I was like, "This is a
Yeah.
Charlie Puth song right here. Like, this is something your guy Puth would
Oh.
totally have
Mm,
made himself in the lab on TikTok." So, uh,
interesting.
definitely had said some of those vibes for me. We'll probably throw one of these tracks onto our Nostalgia Best of 2022. So follow that playlist on Spotify.